First, a reminder that August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day. It's a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For 24 hours on August 26th, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL preseason predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before Week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is a one day only event. FanDuel, play your game, America's #1 sportsbook. Guys, so Mary Kay Cabot reported yesterday that the Browns had their new depth chart, and she gave us a little insight into how their quarterback depth chart will be utilized in Philadelphia. The depth chart itself hasn't changed. It still reads Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel, and Sanders, despite what Shedeur did against Carolina on Friday. However, Mary Kay said that Kevin Stefanski plans to use the top two guys, Flacco and Pickett, for the majority of the snaps in joint practice, and then they're not going to play in the actual preseason game on Saturday. That'll be left up to Dillon Gabriel, assuming he's healthy enough to go, and Shedeur Sanders, and I guess maybe Tyler Huntley if he's still around. Tyvis, is that the right way to divvy up the reps, both game and practice, for the Browns as they enter 2 consecutive joint practices and a preseason game against the defending Super Bowl champs?
For the game, I'm here for it, with Gabriel and Sanders both playing. For practice, I'm still a little on the fence with that, because the Pickett thing, I just don't understand the 11-on-11 reps. Like that, the 7-on-7, I'm here for it. 7-on-7 is what it is. That's, he gets the ball, he doesn't really got to move a lot. But 11-on-11, when you got a pass rush coming, obviously they can't tackle or sack him in practice, but you still feel that pressure. If you really, truly, because you're not letting them play in the game, so this is considered game reps. If you're not letting them, if it's not going to be like that game atmosphere when it comes to him, I don't like it. Like, I don't think he should be in there. I think it does a disservice. I would give it to the 2 healthy guys, or 3, and that if Dillon Gabriel is healthy to go. So the practice ones I don't get, but I understand the depth chart. The way I look at it is the first 2 is battling for QB1, the second 2 is battling for QB2. That's kind of the way that I read into it. For the game, though, I'm cool with Gabriel and Sanders. That's what it should be. The practice thing, I still don't understand how we letting injured guys take 1 reps in joint practices that's full all-out go. Like, I don't understand that.
I ain't been there, but I ain't never heard that, Dustin.
Me either.
If you're not practicing, you're not about to take no team reps. Like, if you're not healthy.
Well, I would say this much. I mean, we don't know the exact details of how injured the player is. Mm-hmm. How injured is he in terms of the hamstring? Okay, well, is he able to go out there and drop back to pass, and you say, hey, don't take off and run, but you can sit in there and you can complete passes, you can hand the football off, you're not causing any more damage or stress on that hamstring. Well, if that's the case, then he can do it. I think there's just probably some slight limitations on what he's doing. Which is why they'd probably rather him practice than in the game, because in the game you can't stop, and the guys are going to tackle you. Mm-hmm. In practice, they're not. These guys are not going to be tackled in this joint practice. So I understand that, and also the Browns are trying to find out if Kenny Pickett can earn this job. They want him to be the starting quarterback for this team to start the year. That's what they're trying to figure out: is does he can he pick up the offense? Does he understand what they're trying to do? Is he completing passes? Like, is he doing things that they need? Basically, they want Kenny Pickett to be a less turnover-prone version of Jameis Winston, mm-hmm. and that's what they think that they got, which is why they traded for him. So that's why he's getting these reps. So I'm not surprised about that. Those 1-2, yeah, it's 1-2. I mean, it's going to be Flacco or Pickett to start the year as the starting quarterback, and then by week 7, week 8, I think you'll probably start to see some of those rookies get some reps in games, and at that point, whether it's Gabriel or Sanders, I think they're all going to probably be here in some capacity.
I looked at it like this, and I told people before. I said, man, Shedeur won a battle, but the war is still raging on. I said that last week. I said, when you come back to this week, don't be alarmed that they're going to have him in the 4th position again. I told people that. If you listen to me, I got the crystal ball. I said it. It's coming. Here's the great thing about it, though. I will say this. See, this is another golden opportunity. See, for people that are fighting for positions, I get the whole, you doing it in the practice. I get it that if you do it against the Eagles, they're going to get all them reps. But the problem is the show will always be televised. If one of them rookies, I told Jay this the other day, I said, if one of them rookies, whoever start first, they come in here and they light it up or look good against the Phillies, I'm talking about Philly.
You talking about preseason game or you talking about practice?
Preseason game.
Okay, so Saturday.
Saturday against Philly.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. The world watching. If they come in there and look competent, and God forbid they look good, it's going to be a bunch of people looking around like, hold on, let me get this straight now. They did that against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the last time I seen the Philadelphia Eagles, they beat the brakes off the Chiefs. It was a
Are you talking about the guys internally? Or are you talking about fans?
I'm talking about fans. I'm talking about the fans.
Yeah.
The guys internally.
What you saying about his fans is correct.
I had to clarify that.
No, they gonna be like,
we understand that this is the 2s, 3s, and 4s.
Players know.
But when they dropped them joints and they said, hold on, now I seen him look good twice in a row. And we still ain't seen Kenny Pickett because these is untelevised. We don't know. I don't know. He said his hamstring hurt. If I'm Kenny, I need you to get back out there quick, bro. I need you.
Why you think Dillon Gabriel going out there?
Yeah, Dillon, I need you to come back. I'm gonna tell you because at the end of the day, them preseason games, it showcases. And look, the Browns may have what they want to do in their mind, but the biggest fan in the world is Jimmy Haslam. he's a big, and if he get excitable, he be like, hold on now, Kev, we got these 2 young dogs out here. What we doing? Is there any? I will say, ask you both of y'all this question: is there any reservation in your heart that if Kenny Pickett does not get healthy, he won't be on the squad?
No, he'll be here. I think he'll be here no matter what because this team gave up a 5th-round pick for him. And knowing what we know about this front office and how much they value draft picks, they don't throw them around. Like, they're not going to trade for this guy and he's injured and, like, trade him or cut him or whatever and get less. They're not going to do that. I mean, they believe that this guy has something and they're going to see it through until he gets on the field. That's what I truly believe.
If Kenny Pickett does not play in the preseason, it would be a Browns dream as far as the front office because he'll make the initial 53-man roster, then they'll revert him back to IR, open that spot, so now they have him until he gets healthy. So now that's their way of carrying 4 quarterbacks on the roster because he will be on IR until his hamstring is good, and then he'll come back. And then they'll have decisions to make then, but it buys them time. But as far as just cutting him without playing, that's why he has to play. Like, I just feel like he has to play. If he plays, it makes the decision tougher for the front office. Because if he don't play, you can just kind of stash him. If he does play and he looks good, now you have to make a decision with what you're going to do with either cutting Flacco or trying to cut a young guy, which I just don't see why you would want to do that.
Well, let me extrapolate this. I like where you're going with this. Let me ask this question. Now, if you are correct in your first assessment, you said that you feel it's Flacco and Pickett for the number 1 position, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders for the backup. If Flacco wins the job, it looks like he's in the lead right now, and they have to make a decision on who's the second quarterback in, how does that look?
Is Kenny Pickett healthy?
Well, they put him on.
They put him on IR.
They put him on the reserve, like
so.
You said.
How does the second?
What the second group look like? That's what this
next game. That's what I'm about to figure out.
Okay.
Because I can't just say, like, right now we can all say Shedeur because we've seen Shedeur. Shedeur has went in there with 2s up against 1s and actually looked decent against Carolina. So we've seen his work. As fans, that's all we really know. We don't know what Gabriel looks like, but we're going to find out. That's
to see
listen, what Shedeur did was put pressure on Gabriel and Pickett. They sat there and was like, yeah, we got to get healthy. Like, we got to get back out there because Shedeur went out there with no 1s and went out there and marched his team up and down the field for 2 touchdowns. Dillon Gabriel is going to go out there probably with that same unit, I would think. I don't think he's going to get ones. Why would you do that? That wouldn't be right. If you want this thing to be, if you truly want to test this thing out and see what it's supposed to look like, why would you give him ones? Out of curiosity, that's a whole nother story. But I'm not even going to go down that road. But if he goes out there against Philadelphia, and I'm going to assume that he has that same unit that Shedeur had, because those was the twos allegedly, he should be able to at least be something remotely close to what Shedeur has, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Dustin, I look at it like this. I do agree that he put a lot of pressure on everybody.
Oh, for sure.
Jackson Dart.
He got Jimmy Haslam putting his Richard Millie up.
Yeah. he had Jackson Dart laying his school clothes out before his preseason game. Nah, bro, Shedeur. Cam Ward looked like he was a little inspired. He said, I'm tired of hearing about this 12 character. I got to drop some dimes. If you look at Dillon Gabriel, right, how much pressure is on him? And do you believe, now when I say elimination, is this an elimination game in terms of what that for the young guys? If I'm looking at a competition between Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel, Dillon has been getting more of the reps. Is this a game where Dillon Gabriel got to put up, or it might be looking a little different in that depth chart the next week?
I mean, I think it's still too early to tell for Gabriel to say that all of a sudden this weekend is like the end-all be-all for his opportunity to play this year.
I think he's gonna play. Do you think,
or be the next guy in? I think it's just way too early to have that conversation because there's still a ton of practices to go. He's been banged up. Mm-hmm. Shedeur has had really one. I thought it was a good performance. It wasn't lights out. It's like he went out there and threw for 400 yards. I mean, he had a nice, solid preseason debut. I'd say it's a B+. It wasn't perfect. I mean, not every throw was perfect, but he did a nice job. And the thing that we can say about it is he didn't fall flat on his face. Mm-hmm. He looked like he belonged. He looked like an NFL quarterback. The numbers were fine. Threw a couple of touchdown passes, which were really nice throws. I mean, he made some baller throws in that game. Yeah, I mean, he did. So I came away from the game very impressed. But like, there's nothing that he did there that's going to make me think that he could be the starting quarterback week one.
No, I didn't want.
Or even did that even earn him the right to be the backup? I think there's just too much time left here until we start the season. We're not playing ball, fellas, for 3 weeks.
I think the interesting thing, why this game is important, and the reason why I believe that they're playing the two young guys is because in their mind they know next week the starters have to play. You're not going the entire preseason and the starters is not playing. Like, if you don't play, think about it. If you don't play your starters next week, that means they haven't played it in a game since whenever the last game was last season. You're not doing that. If you do that, that's suicide. that's like suicide for the season. So to me, I feel like the ones is going to dominate against the Rams. Like, as far as reps goes, they're going to play a lot of the game because that's the final chance to play in a game-like setting until it's for real. So I think that's why you want to see these two young guys take all these reps, because there won't be a lot of reps for them to take next week.
If I'm the Cleveland Browns, my best case scenario is, my hope is, hey, get these old dudes up out of here. Make my job hard. That's all I want you to do when you go to Philadelphia. Make my job as an evaluator or a coach difficult. Coach Herman was on here last week. He said, listen, if it's even between one of these old dudes and a young dude, I'm gonna play the young dude
every time.
Because guess what? In week 5, week 6, he gonna be better than you. What he gonna look like? We're not, and that's why I'm anxious. People say, G. Bush, what you want to see? No, I want to see Kenny play. Come on, Kenny. I need to see you, dog. Where's Dillon Gabriel at? Come on out here. I need to see it. Don't be out. I want joint practice reps. I wouldn't even be mad if they said, Shedeur ain't even playing this week. He ain't playing. Let me see Pickett for a half if he was healthy. Let me get Dillon Gabriel for a half, because guess what? Now I could compare apples to apples. I want to see the throws. I want to see what you're doing. I want to see what you see. So for me, if I'm the Cleveland Browns, I'm over here like this, man. Listen, y'all young dudes keep stacking days together, because right now it's just one game. If it's one game, that could be an aberration. That could be a myth. We don't know. You showed up, but you start putting 2 games together. You're like, okay, hold on. That film work stacking. then you start looking good in practice. He's like, okay, well, look what we're doing here. For me, I'm interested in the most intriguing thing is this. If Dillon Gabriel come out here and look good, I would be like, I got 3. I already got Flacco. I got 3 right now. Pickett, you got to show me something. I got 3.
Yeah.
Now, I got 3 already in the holster. I got the big joker, the little joker, and the ace. I don't got the deuce yet. I got the ace. I got 3 of them. And does it matter the team they're playing against? It's Philadelphia, right?
What that man?
I mean,
Dude, for this weekend's all intents purposes, it's a skin that they're wearing. You know what I mean? They're a bunch of backups. There could be 2s and 3s out there. It could be any team. They're not playing Jalen Hurts.
No.
And they're not playing, Saquon Barkley this weekend.
For what I look at it is, look, if I'm looking at the Cleveland Browns roster and I'm looking at the Philadelphia Eagles roster, I think their roster in the 2s.
Well, it should be better, but the team they've been to 2 of the last 4 Super Bowls.
You know what's interesting about the 2 young guys is that since they've been here, all we've seen and heard is about Shedeur has thrown nice passes, and we've seen tape of him making some good passes in practice. And when you ask the question, why is Dillon Gabriel above him? It's always been above shoulders, right? That's the narrative that people paint, is that it's all above shoulders. If he goes out here in this game, my question is, let's see, how can I word this?
What you saying? What you saying?
No,
I'm looking.
Be quiet, G.
I'm just waiting. I'm just looking.
Let me paint this right. I want to make sure I say this
Get your
correctly.
Picasso on.
If I'm not expecting his numbers to be as good as Shedeur's, I'm not.
Okay.
Just simply because I think they trust him more because he knows the playbook, he knows the plays, and all of those things. So I trust him to know where to go with the ball.
Okay.
I don't necessarily know what it's going to look like from that moment on to where 12. I mean, you knew. I guess you didn't know, but you kind of anticipated that he would make some good throws, and he did that. That's why I'm so intrigued to see Dillon Gabriel, because if he goes out there and the performance isn't that great, you can't keep holding him back because of above shoulder. Especially when I told you could just put a wristband on somebody like that. You got to cut that narrative out, and it's just really gonna show. So it's really a big Saturday for me because I like Dillon Gabriel has to command the offense. It better be no delay of games because he didn't even have no delay of games, so it shouldn't be that. I think he did miss a slide protection or something like that on the blitz. So it shouldn't be none of that. It should be a very clean game for Dillon Gabriel as far as like pre-snap stuff.
Who would you start in the game against Philadelphia?
I would start Gabriel.
Probably Gabriel. I mean, you gave Sanders the start last week. I would say that now it's time, if Gabriel's healthy enough to play, you'd want to get him out there and get the same opportunity. Being a guy that was drafted higher in the 3rd round, they've more invested in you. I'd want to see him perform and kind of have a little, apples to apples comparison of what Shedeur did the previous week.
I would give it to Gabriel because, again, this would be your best 9 starters are playing in this game. So I would give Gabriel all of that. The same thing that Shedeur had, see how that works. And obviously probably second half or 4th quarter, whenever Sanders comes in, he'll probably be with the guys that's 3s or 4s. Which he's been throwing to also, so it wouldn't be nothing for him either. So if he could continue to still look good and still march the 3s and 4s down there, it's like, I don't know what are we talking about.
I like this, but I'm telling you, now we are here. I've been hearing the supercomputer stuff from the neck up. We're going to get a chance to see it. You going to go right in here, and you going to get your work, and I'm going to get my work. And then we going to be able to compare and look and see. Because guess what? I ain't one of them dudes. I told you, I'm married to what happened on the field. Dillon Gabriel, you got your shot, dog. You got the 1 reps. You're ready to go. You got your shot. What we talking about, McNuggets?